Procedurally generated, permanent death, roguelikes allow their unique mechanics to be incorporated into any genre, resulting in a sea of diverse games with infinite possibilities. And with new unique roguelikes being released every single day, I like to play and analyze the ones that may not have had the chance to shine yet. If that sounds interesting, welcome to the series where we learn what works, what doesn't, and why, all in search to find the next big roguelike. Sheva. This seems to be a deck building game with some action elements put into place. I believe you play cards and then in real time you actually get to fight in a one-on-one hand combat. Quite a unique take on the deck building roguelike aspect, so that really does interest me. Now, Sheva just came out a few weeks ago at the time of recording this, December 1st. It is in early access and they are planning on releasing a roadmap for future updates and stuff like that. As per usual, I'm going to be playing for a few hours, discovering the game, and then I'll give my first impressions towards the end of the video. So timestamps below if you want to skip ahead. All right, let's check out some Sheva. Okay, right from the start, we're in the action. Get up and try again. Charge and attack. I didn't, that wasn't me, whoever lost before. All right, so we've got our charge. Every action has its moment. Now, attack. It's really cool to start playing a deck building game as someone who's played so many of them and have no idea how the game's gonna work because of how different this already seems to be. So now attack. Okay, so attack. Okay, so it automatically uses whatever card I have is what I'm guessing here. Let's do an attack. Block can be important. Learn to defend yourself. Okay, block. So block is just its own thing. Doesn't actually use a card. 2 strikes is all you can handle. Oh, that's why I took 5 damage. I see. Okay. User power. A moment's advantage can shift the battle. Okay. Draw 2 cards. Got it. Remember to use your skill. Prepare your moves to find their potential. This is an attack. Next move is an attack. Okay. Position. This card is in position 1. And increase damage of this card by 5. So this card is in position 1. I'm not too sure what that means. Like, it means it's always going to be on the first position. I don't know. We'll see. So my attack does multiple. Oh, and it costs 15. Okay. Wait. So it's always using all the attacks, I think, that I have. I should probably stop asking questions and just do a tutorial and we'll see. You learn to adapt, but there's still much to master. Oh, so if this is in the first position, it increases the damage. Okay, I see. Cool. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. I have a scary feeling about this whole mantra thing. Next move is attack. Ignore block 1 time. Please. Ow. That seemed a little unfair. I'm frozen in time. No. Okay, so very quick tutorial, which I do appreciate. Choose which chakra to unlock. The path is yours to shape. Okay, so yeah, there's a whole chakra thing. Got it. So are these all kind of like classes? Survival is not the end goal, it is the beginning. Possible rewards. Do they all have heal? No, they don't. Who needs healing? There's powers, talismans. There seems to be a few different elements to upgrade or to gather throughout runs in this game. You can choose quite a few possible enemies to fight. So I can see my cards. If this is in position 2, position 3. Okay, so they all have their positioning doing a specific effect. Okay, let's try fight. This is your character. Your HP bar when it reaches 0. Okay, so this is more tutorial. Got it. These are your actions. Each turn you can charge, just draw a card, attack, use all your cards, or block 2 enemy cards. Ooh, the music got intense. I like it. When you attack, all your cards are discarded. Cards are how you deal damage to your opponent. One condition is always the action you do on your turn. Other conditions can include the positioning of the card. Yep. If all conditions are met, the card effect will activate. Got it. Card positions. Yep. This number shows the total damage. Cool. Your talisman appear here. Earn them by defeating bosses. I'm curious what that is. Power-ups. One-time effects you can activate during your turn. Got it. And active effects on your character are tracked here. This is your character's skill. You can use it. Got it. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say they just put all these things as example. I was like, why do I feel so strong? Okay, so you basically want to charge. Next move is block. So I'm not actually taking 7 damage. He's blocking for 7. Okay, and what is my stuff? Next move is charge. So he did attack. I thought it was a block. Okay, interesting. Mirror strike. This is completely different gameplay than I expected. So he attacked me and I lost a card. Because if I charge into an attack, I lose the card? Is that it? We can charge. Ah, okay. And he tried to block. So it is all about trying to predict your opponent's move. I thought turns were going to be very long, but actually no, it's a bunch of turns in quick succession. Oh. I'm not attacking you, buddy. I'm not done with you. Oh, I'm not done with you. All right, well, good luck. Yeah, he blocked, obviously. But you can't block everything. Screw you. Okay, so I'm assuming I don't regenerate my health in between fights. Gain 5 reflect or disable 1 random card. I see. I'm assuming 5 reflect are thorns. So whenever they attack me, they take 5 damage. So I could just try to go for more blocking. Okay. Oh, I have to do all of them? The Seer start fights with 1 card. You gain if I avoid this. Oh, so I have to do all of them pretty much. Oh, I can decide to deactivate the powers. I like that. Okay, so now it's just a matter of predicting whether he's gonna attack or not. Cool. Okay, got it. I don't know exactly how the AI works. Like, why it would attack, why it wouldn't. Wait, it didn't take damage. I have to activate my power? Oh, right. Powers are not passives. They're things I have to activate. But they're like passives, right? Because I can just do them every fight. Is he gonna attack? Is he not? I don't know. Reduce the damage of the opponent card by 11 if it's in first position. I can do this every turn, right? Okay, so let's try that. Ooh, sorry, bud. I'm assuming he's gonna try to attack. Yeah, nice. Cool. Wait, I heal? If it's in 3rd place? That's so good. Oh, it doesn't push everything. Shoot. Because heal is something that will go beyond, right? Okay, well, let's attack. Ow. I read this name differently. I'm not gonna say what I read it as, but yeah, so if I avoid this path, the Seer gains 5 reflex. So I want to do all of them pretty much. Let's attack. Worst comes to worst. It's fine, yeah. Boom! 15. A little worried about this. Ooh, double block. That's awkward. Is it because he knows he's gonna die? There we go. All right, now you're in trouble. This card is in position. Draw a card. Oh, wow. Drawing a card is really, really good in this game. Oh, I'm definitely taking drawing a card. Are you kidding me? That's so good. Let's do another power. Should I be greedy? Oh my gosh, that hurts. I want to heal. Let's go all out. Obviously, he's going to block, but not much I can do about it. I do heal, right? Did I heal? Oh my gosh, my powers are consumables. There were one-time effects. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought I healed. I'm a little surprised I didn't. Oh, if I avoid this path, I gain 1. I see. Let's do the boss. Let's avoid one of them. This year's gathering 3 from other sources. Nah, I'm fine. I don't need to worry about it. Boom, 150. So what is that thing? What is that thing that he got? When you block and with more than 3 cards, gain 10 guard. Once per fight, when you block, remove 1 random. Oh, that's rough. Help! Okay, I at least blocked that. Ow. Okay, so I got rid of everything. That's good. Hey! Okay, charge. Charge. Probably need to charge again here. Cool. Is he gonna attack, you think? I'm gonna block. Oh! Screw you. Nobody likes you. Okay. Now I can switch this around. And he's gonna block, but that's okay. Oh, he charged! Oh, no! Oh, I feel bad for him. Oh, but now I'm scared. Charge. Charge. I should have remembered to do this early. Probably block here. Ooh, block here. Ooh, block here. Ooh, block here. There you go. Okay, cool. Got a position 1 here. That's good. And one last charge, and let's attack. Okay, he's really close to being dead, but we do have to be careful here. Oh, that's rough. Okay. Wait, I didn't lose my card. Oh, if the next move is charged and the position is in 2, draw a card. I see. Okay, I finally actually got to understand how this actually works. If the next move is charged, position 3, then you heal. Okay, got it. It's right. Cool, so now, I got to heal. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Steer down. Oh, and I just continue whacking at him even though he had no more health. Hell yeah. Your visions pierced the veil, revealing truth beyond understanding. Well, this is a talisman. These are the passives. Okay, when you block, remove 1 random card. When you block... Oh, wait, I can just grab one of his passives. That's interesting. Ooh, and a reward. Okay, so if we both charge, then I screw with one of their attacks. Next move is attack, opponent's next move is attack. I dodge one of the attacks. Or next move is attack. Your HP is at 100. So that's cool. The cards are fairly complex without them being too complicated, if that makes sense. And we got some gold. Hooray! Energy. Oh, and we're at the shop. Okay. Oh, you can spend... Oh, wow. This is expensive. Wow, I didn't realize how expensive this would be. Okay, I thought I had a lot of money, but apparently not. Free to remove a card? That's so good. Okay, so I have to beat all the different chakras. Ah, possible rewards. Okay, now I'm starting to understand a little bit more what's going on. All right, I'm going to continue playing on my own for a bit, and I'm going to circle back with my overall thoughts in just a moment. Okay, so we ended up finishing that run, and then I just took a quick look at another one afterwards to just get an idea of, you know, different start of run stuff. Boy, oh boy, I've got a lot to say because this is one of the most interesting deck building games I've played on this series. So let's just jump right into it. This reminds me a lot of, I forgot. It was one of the games that we featured on this series a long time ago. It was a baseball deck building game. Colin, if you remember, feel free to put it somewhere. And the idea is that it's a 1v1 with an AI that has the same capabilities as you, right? It has its own cards and it uses the same exact mechanics. And basically, this is a rock, paper, scissors deck building game, which I really haven't seen much of. Well, it's not literally rock, paper, scissors, right? But basically you have 3 different moves. One is to grab cards, one is to attack, and one is to block. And each of these counter one another, right? If you're going to attack while they charge, they lose a card. If you're going to block an attack, you know, it's obviously going to be beneficial. You have to kind of predict the AI and just figure out, you know, what's the best of the 3 possible actions you have. Now, that's not all, obviously. You also have your cards. The card design in this game is awesome. And overall, I would say that this game's core is super cool. It has a lot of really interesting designs and mechanics that I haven't seen much around, and that I was just really surprised because originally I thought there wasn't too much to the game as a whole in terms of its root mechanics, but then I realized that the starting classes that you can have, they all start with their unique cards, but also a skill, and that skill you can use every single turn, and you can really kind of strategically place your cards and move your cards and duplicate cards with that one ability that you start with. And it's so cool. That run that we ended up finishing with was so fun because I was actually like benefiting from like one of the talismans to have my hand be full at all times, and then that would actually increase the damage, and then I found cards that would be good if you duplicate them. There was actually a lot of thought-provoking choices in what to duplicate, what to get in my deck, and what actions to do depending on what the AI was about to do, at least trying to predict them. So it was way more complex than I expected at first, but not complicated in a way where there's a million things to keep track of and you can't focus, right? It's quite clear. The tutorial is a little confusing overall, but that's not too much of a big deal because, again, you understand the concept quite quickly once you get started. So yeah, I thought the gameplay itself was really enjoyable, surprisingly much more than I thought when I first started. So that was fun. Now, it does get a bit repetitive, and I think that's not necessarily because of the gameplay itself, but the way that the runs are structured. So let's talk about that, right? So the runs is you have to beat all the chakras. So it's like you have 7 levels, and then you have the final boss. The final boss was really, really cool, I will say. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm glad I got to see it. And the thing is, you can make things go faster by not fighting actual enemies and just going straight to the boss. Basically, every single chakra, you can go straight to the boss, but for every enemy you left unbeaten, they'll get buffed. There are a few games that have done this, and I do like that system in a lot of games. In this game, it's not as interesting to me because of the fact that the buffs a lot of times extremely minor, and what you get in return is just more money, a little bit more money. I think the shop overall is a little unbalanced and not as interesting, so money in the end didn't really matter to me, but I'm getting ahead. I think one of the pacing issues I had was the fact that if you wanted to be safe and if you weren't very strong, you gotta fight all the enemies. And that's 5 enemies for each chakra. So 5 times 7, that's 35 enemies plus 7 bosses, plus the final boss if you plan on clearing everything. Which is a lot. A bit much, in my opinion, considering that all the enemies, they don't have any unique thing. Each enemy is the same. And there's not much enemy variety visually. Yeah, I actually like the visuals. I guess I'll talk about that a little bit. The visuals are really nice. They're very simple, but they're kind of soothing. And I like the kind of stick figure-esque kind of animation, but it's still fluid, if that makes sense. And it's simple, but I like it. But you know, you're just fighting a bajillion amount of stick figures, which I don't need to always have, you know, monsters, dragons, boom, boom, boom. And, you know, they did put a little bit of difference, you know, skins in each of these stick figures. But I was hoping that for the bosses, there would be a little bit more to differentiate from the normal enemies visually, I guess. If you are planning on fighting pretty much all the enemies and the bosses, you know, to get to the final boss, that one run did feel by the end like I just was trying to skip because you're fighting the same kind of enemies here and there. They have different cards, and that's where things get really fun, right? You can look at their cards and try to make sure that you know what kind of things they're going to do and be careful with that. But by the 5th chakra, I just went straight to the boss without fighting any enemies, whether I would die or not, just because I wanted to skip ahead. In terms of the roguelike elements, again, right, all the different cards, there's a bunch of different cards, a bunch of different talismans, which are your passive abilities, a bunch of powers. There's quite a lot of content for an early access already, and I think one of the coolest aspects in the roguelike stuff is the cards. All the cards have quite a few unique elements to them, right? You have to see how to trigger the effect, if the right condition is met, and then the effect will trigger. And there's a lot, you can kind of like have cards that you can mix and match, and therefore you can have a lot of possible cards, right? Because you can have the condition of being on the first place, on the first position, but you have to do an attack, and then if you do that, it will trigger this. Or you can have 3rd position, and if you block, then this will trigger. So naturally, there's a lot of space to design cards with the fact that, you know, you can just mix and match a bunch of different possible mechanics, right? So that was really cool to see all these different cards and, you know, see how I could exploit them. With my second run, duplicating character, I realized, wait a minute, there's a card that can just duplicate a bunch. I don't care about losing the attack damage because I realized the effect could be, you know, 5 times by having a charge against an attack gives me 2 dodge, right? But then I would have 5 of them because I duplicated them every single turn, and being able to create my own synergy, right? The game didn't expect that I could theoretically do that on the spot, was really satisfying. The fact that I came up with that and I was able to create it, that was one of the most enjoyable aspects of this game on that run that I did. That being said, one thing that really hurt me deep was that the talismans, there's a limit to them. I don't really get that. I understand certain games giving the player limits, how much you can have so that you don't like break the game. And yeah, some games I think that works quite well, but in this one I felt like the power level should just have gone higher and higher, and you shouldn't limit the player to the amount of talismans you could have, because basically that meant that the rewards I would get from the boss were completely useless, because I was really happy with the 3 talismans that I had originally that kind of created my build. So that means that every time I would beat a boss, I wouldn't get any rewards because the talisman would just go into my inventory and not be used. I had like 12 talismans and I just stuck to the 3 that I had from like this 3rd chakra. That was not a great feeling. So I really hope they either like expand by like 5 to 10 or just not give a limit. I get that it can be broken, I could see it, but I think the game should be designed around that. That's my personal opinion. I tend not to love games that give limitations on passive abilities for roguelikes because, yeah, again, developers do that to, you know, try to balance things. But I think it's just better to try to balance things around the possibility of being overpowered and letting players have a lot more fun with, you know, fusing crazy amount of talismans. So that was a bit of a disappointment to me. And I guess that circles back to my point about money. Money at the beginning of the game was really important, but the late game felt like not as impactful because I didn't care about buying talismans, so all I could buy was cards, but I didn't want to actually buy too many cards because I had a really good deck already and I didn't want to bloat my deck, right? So all that's left was just max health, which I bought every single time, and then just like powers, which are consumables. And consumables are always hard to make really, really satisfying in games. You know, like no one loves your potions in Slay the Spire when you get started, that kind of stuff. I think they did a pretty decent job, but yeah, just the lack of having way more passive abilities to feel like your deck gets stronger and stronger and stronger, I think was one of the biggest disappointments to me once I got past the early game. Because it felt like every fight past the mid game were exactly the same in terms of my playstyle, and I kind of wanted to do a little bit more than that. Now, I know this is an indie game, it's a small team, right? But I will say, because of how much I love the inherent design of the gameplay, man, I feel like this game would be so fun if it was PvP. I'm not a PvP kind of player, I'm much more PvE. But the idea that you could fight other people with their own deck and have to predict that rock, paper, scissors kind of thing sounds so fun. Because one of the problems inherently you're gonna have against an AI is predicting an AI's action is obviously not as enjoyable as against a player, right? Because the AI might do some stupid things, right? Like block even if it would die from all my attacks. It's not as satisfying to know that I'm just fighting against just a pure, you know, kind of dice that has some intelligence to, well, I should probably go more towards this possible action because of the situation. But ultimately, man, I just wish it was PvP. I obviously not something that's easy to just do like that, but man, this game would be so fun if I could play against another player. Another thing that I really, really like in this game is the different skills or classes you start with, right? I did touch on that a little bit, but I was really impressed with the design of each skill completely shaping your run, because you can use those skills every single turn, and turns are just a click of a button, right? It's so I like the fact the pacing of the fight, the fact that you can just click and instantly go to the next turn like this. That's really satisfying and does help with the overall pacing issue that I have. I've only seen 3 of the skills or starting classes, and all 3 of them are really, really cool. So props on the design on that regard. I think that was really nice. Okay, so yeah, overall, Sheva, one of the coolest, just core concepts for a deck building game I've played on the series. I was really surprised by how much strategy there was behind a lot of the fights. I had a really fun time getting to actually beat the second run. That felt really rewarding. I do feel like the game has a lot of content in like the cards and talisman and all the powers and everything, but I wish they would put a little bit more into somehow a little bit more enemy diversity, changing the pacing a little bit, and allowing players to have more talismans, please. I mean, passive effects are like such a core thing to roguelikes because they allow people to have unique runs by having more and more and more things and feeling like your run actually evolves as you play, as opposed to just like staggering by like mid-game when you've already got your build and there's not much else to do because you're full on your passive abilities, right? So I think this game has a few things that I would personally adjust, but that's, again, just my own opinion. But overall, this was a really pleasantly fun experience with just the first 2 hours that I got to play. So yeah, if you want to check out this game, again, this is in early access. They have a roadmap planned, so a lot can change, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this one. Thank you so much for setting Sheva and using the skip the line option. It really, really helps the channel out. We really appreciate your support. If you're interested in sending your roguelike, even if it's just in demo, feel free to check the forum down below for a chance to being featured in one of the future episodes. And yeah, that's about it.